As of the recording of this video, TikTok Shop sellers and brands have just 33 days before platform shipping, labels, and fulfillment become mandatory and they start phasing in a new era for TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop just set up a hard deadline for US sellers. And there are a lot of rumors and assumptions going on right now about what this means for you. And so I've spent the last several hours digging in and asking people at TikTok directly, trying to get to the bottom of it and figuring out how to deliver that information directly to you guys. By the end of this video, you have a proper understanding of what you may need to do based on your current situation and what options that you have available to you. The dates of when this is happening and for what period of time and more will be revealed in this video. Let's dive in. Now, this was the official email that actually went out to sellers and brands. And we're just going to go through this email first to dissect it a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight some things that we can learn from this, what your options are depending on where your current situation is, and then detail a few things that may be important to your future with TikTok Shop. So let's read through this here together. They start out by saying, we're committed to supporting your business on a platform to help you make TikTok a more vibrant marketplace where we can thrive together. We're making the following updates to our fulfillment requirement regardless of carrier. All right. So that's the first thing is, they're going to update fulfillment for everyone, regardless of the carrier, starting February 25th through March 31st. So this is coming up soon. We'll begin phasing in the requirement that US local sellers must fulfill orders through TikTok Shop logistics services, fulfilled by TikTok, upgraded TikTok shipping, and collections by TikTok. These three things are really important for us to know and keep an eye on. So we'll come back to this. Seller shipping will be discontinued. All right. Seller shipping will be discontinued. And I would say that this is the majority of the reason why people have been misinterpreting a little bit about what this means. We'll talk about this here very soon. This policy has also been implemented for cross-border sellers. Sellers onboarding on or after February 9th are required to fulfill orders exclusively through TikTok Shop logistics services. So again, if you are not set up on TikTok Shop yet and you don't get set up before then, you'll be required to basically set up using the TikTok Shop logistics. Now, if you're an enterprise resource planning or the ERP system, and this is basically for a lot of bigger brands will actually use ERP. So if this is you, these are the approved apps that they are allowing you to use and integrate into the TikTok shipping, all right? Working with integrating with more ERP systems and shipping apps. Please stay tuned for the updated list soon. They're going to be sending a follow-up email as well, the effective dates on when this was actually going to affect for you. But again, we're going to do multiple videos on this particular topic. I just wanted to bring this information to you as soon as possible. Here on the channel, we're all about helping you provide you with the education that you need, but also important updates so that you can be aware before things turn for you later on. And I can tell you what, being on TikTok Shop since it came out, there can be things and changes that are made that can really hurt you if you're not aware of them. And sometimes it's hard to actually know what is going on and what the truth of those things are. And that's why I'm making this video. So to enhance the overall quality of your logistics services, we recommend opting in for FBT. So they're also actually pushing you towards doing the fulfilled by TikTok option as well, not just the labeling and the shipping, which we'll talk about in a sec. But I see this being something that they push more and more long term. So what do we actually learn from this? Okay, there's two main things. The first thing is that by February 25th through the 31st of March, we're going to be required to use basically logistics by TikTok. So what does this actually mean? I'm going to actually hold that question because I'm going to get ahead of myself if I actually answer that right now. But just know that we learned that by February 25th to 31st, they want to phase out seller shipping. That's essentially what we learned here. And the second point I wanted to highlight, which I wrote down over here, is for new sellers, February 9th, if you're not set up on TikTok Shop, you're going to be required to use TikTok logistics. All right, I'm just going to put TikTok. So those are the two things that we learned from the email. Now, let's dive in and look at why are they doing this, right? Because you might be thinking, well, if I'm a smaller brand or a larger brand and now I've got to move all this inventory or I've got to now figure out what does my cost basis look like? What do my profit margins look like using FBT? What does it look like with upgraded shipping? Your brain's probably running. Being around on TikTok since 2020, I've seen TikTok continue to really hold high standards, right? And because they hold high standards, TikTok doesn't want dropshippers. They want real brands. They want people who are going to actually provide more value to the market than just trying to resell a product that solves a problem. Because a lot of dropshipping is quite literally just repurposing or getting a product from China. Even white labeling is a step above dropshipping, and just trying to rip a product that is trending or that there's particular content around and you can scale that product. But typically with dropshipping, it doesn't even serve you either way because it doesn't actually help you build sustainable income long term, right? It's usually short lived. And so I think they're trying to eliminate dropshippers as much as they can. The state of ecom right now, especially for TikTok, is there's a lot of also print on demand and dropshipping, and they're ultimately trying to be a higher quality platform. They have to hold higher standards because when they're ones coming into the market that are second to a big behemoth like Amazon, they have to have a different standard. They have to be able to meet certain benchmarks for what Amazon is able to do, but then do it better. And so I think what they're doing is they're actually eliminating more people who are trying to cut corners in building a brand or generating sales through a physical product, and ultimately trying to provide a better experience for customers on the platform. So they're trying to basically improve the experience for customers. Because when customers experience dropshipping products, it's not really the best. You know, it comes when a brand's actually thought through their packaging and they've designed it and they've created this experience around it, dropshippers kind of take away from that. So I think that they're trying to continue to phase out low quality sellers and low quality brands. And that's why they have all these different restrictions around shop score and, you know, having a certain negative review rate and things like that, right? There was one other thing, and again, like I wanted to highlight this to me, all this stuff here is good for the platform. Like I believe that doing stuff like this is actually going to help our brands long term. It's going to be a very, very good thing for us. The last thing I wanted to mention is they simply want to control shipping. And when they have control over the whole shipping and logistics, then they're going to be able to, one, get data. Two, they're going to be able to essentially have an understanding from start to finish of the labeling, the shipping, the fulfillment. And I think that this moves more towards a long-term thing of their FBT program becoming more like Amazon. I think that long-term, they're going to be as logistically set up infrastructure-wise as Amazon, but they're not quite there yet because they just need time, right? And like just as we see the Amazon trucks driving around delivering packages, there's going to be TikTok trucks driving around the US delivering packages. There's going to be TikTok vehicles, and you're going to be able to go work for TikTok here in the US doing shipping and logistics, just like we have Amazon as well. Like that's what we're going to get to in the next 5 years, maybe sooner. So with that in mind, I think that's why they're doing things like this. And ultimately, if you're a real brand on this channel, you've been watching this channel, we talk a lot about building real brands. This isn't going to be a bad thing for you. This is a good thing. So that's why I think they're doing this. Let's jump down now to clarifying the misconceptions and rumors. This may be one of the main reasons why you're watching this part of the video. So one of the things that I've seen just kind of browsing around online, looking at what people are saying, talking in the TikTok community, is people are freaking out because they're saying they are forcing me to use FBT, right? They're forcing me to use Fulfilled by TikTok. What's happening is they aren't forcing you that you can't do Fulfilled by Seller. What they are forcing you to do is to upgrade shipping to TikTok shipping. So there's a TikTok shipping option, which is essentially a TikTok label, right? That you use to send out packages so that we can track the package. They're not saying that sellers can't fulfill the orders. They just have to use the TikTok shipping labels. That's what they're saying, okay? I just think the way they tried to explain it was a little bit easy for, a lot of people to misunderstand. Now, the other misconception as well is dropshipping is dead. And I would say that it's a yes and a no, because we know that dropshipping on the platform has become more and more difficult to do over time. And what they're doing is basically making it even harder, right? They're making it harder to do. again, we've already talked about this. This is a good thing for the health of the platform, for the trust that customers have of who's selling on the platform, and ultimately that everyone who comes on the platform has a real brand will have success. But the only alternative to this is there's partners like Zendrop, for example. They do shipments into the US. So they have warehousing in the US where they import products from China and they offer that to customers to basically drop ship from the US. And there's plenty other, there's plenty other warehouses and sellers and distributors and people that might offer that as well, but it just makes it tremendously harder. And again, you're not selling a product that is like really branded and built around a specific brand and ecosystem. It's more just selling something that already exists from China. So again, those types of brands anyway, I don't see working out long term. And this is not something that we talk about here on the channel with dropshipping. We talk about building real brands that matter and that ultimately will become valuable over time that you could potentially sell or grow to millions of dollars that you can exit for, right? So dropshipping is never going to provide you with that outlet. So let's talk about what options you have going forward. This is a really important part that I wanted to highlight to make it really clear for you, depending on your current situation, on where you're at, to just help you think through this, help you to decide on where you want to go and what you want to do and whether you are in trouble or not. So there's 4 main options that I've written out here for how you can go about this. All right. So the first one is that you can ship from your own warehouse. Ship from your own warehouse. And the only difference that you need to do is you just need to update shipping to be TikTok shipping. That's it. So there's upgraded labels. The costs may be different. We'll probably talk about that in another video if I haven't already linked it here after this video, at the end of this video, of talking about some of the costs involved with different shipping options as well. We'll definitely do another video here to help you guys kind of unpack that. But essentially all you need to do is update your shipping to TikTok shipping. That's it. And you're in policy. Okay? So no need to stress. If this is you, don't stress. It's okay. Everything's gonna work out just fine. The second option is you're more than likely working with a 3PL. I'd say most of you who are watching here on the channel, you're working with a 3PL company or logistics company. You can keep your 3PL. The only thing you need to do, and the only thing that they need to be willing to do, is basically update to TikTok shipping. That's it. All right. Same thing as if you had a warehouse. That's how you solve this problem. So if this is you, I would get in contact with your 3PL as soon as possible. Share that TikTok is updating their policy to only use TikTok shipping, and coordinate with them and figure out how can they integrate that into their systems and how they're actually doing their labeling and tracking, and make sure that they can do the TikTok shipping option. Now, if they can't provide that, then that's going to be a bit of a problem for you because you need to move your inventory before these dates, essentially, right? By the end of March is the cutoff. So that's going to be an important conversation for you to have. So, definitely have a conversation with your 3PL, see what they're able to do. I would say majority of the time, they're probably going to be able to do this because it's literally just how they do the labeling. It's just going to depend on how their systems are set up in getting that labeling all smoothed out and integrated, make sure they're not missing orders. So that is number 2. If you have a 3PL, that is a solution. The third solution that you can use is using a tool like ShipHero or AfterShip, which is an integration that allows you to fulfill orders through those. It's an app and integration through the back end of TikTok Shop. And all you have to do is just use approved integrations, right? Because they're directly been created and put inside of TikTok. So that one's pretty straightforward. And the last one that we're going to highlight right here is send in top SKUs to FBT. FBT is the fulfilled by TikTok. These are their warehouses where they fulfill your products for you. And this is just another option, right? So if you're a brand doing 7, 8, multi-8 figures and you are looking to get into FBT, and right now they still have a wait list, but we've been able to push through every person that we have requested to be pushed through to FBT program. We've been able to actually push them through successfully. So if that is something that you guys would need and you're still on that wait list, you can reach out to us or simply book a call down below and we can help you push you through to get FBT as well and talk a little bit about how to grow and scale your TikTok shop. So sending in top SKUs to FBT is a great option as well because basically, like I said, the future of where TikTok is going, I think, is going to be very much focused on FBT. And obviously there's some costs involved there too, but you have to remember that there's also protection. You have protection in the FBT program that is different from your typical seller fulfillment, which is very, very important for the health of your store so you can actually continue to grow. They provide protection if there's any issues with the carrier, if there's any issues on TikTok side where they don't get orders out on time, they take the hit because they're the ones fulfilling the order, and that protects you as a seller because if anything happens to a package being damaged, TikTok takes on that responsibility for you. Otherwise, in other shipping methods, that is not the case. So I know there are still plenty of questions that you may have right now that you want answers to. Please leave them down below and I will answer them, and be sure to share more videos here to help you understand and set up what you need to be able to sell and be able to be successful on TikTok Shop with these updates. Now, if you're a brand doing over 50K a month on TikTok Shop and you would like some help scaling, then you can schedule a call with my team and I down below. We'd love to explore working together and also helping you with that FBT program. But if you're under 50K a month right now, I would check out the free training that will break down and reveal exactly how we scale shops to over 100K a month, 250K a month, and that will go in depth into our $1 million GMV machine and show you everything that you need to do and implement and how we've been able to grow and scale our brands. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you watch this video next. It'll be right here, and I'll see you in the next one.